Hi, welcome to our channel Global Info. Eiffel Tower, wrought iron structure in Paris that is among the most famous landmarks in the world. It is also a technological masterpiece in building construction history. It was designed and built 1887–89 by Gustave Eiffel and named in his honor. When the French government was organizing the International Exposition of 1889 to celebrate the centenary of the French Revolution, a competition was held for designs for a suitable monument. More than 100 plans were submitted, and the Centennial Committee accepted that of the noted bridge engineer Gustave Eiffel. Eiffel's concept of a 300-meter (984-foot) tower built almost entirely of open lattice wrought iron aroused amazement, skepticism, and no little opposition on aesthetic grounds. When completed, the tower served as the entrance gateway to the exposition. Nothing remotely like the Eiffel Tower had ever been built. It was twice as high as the Dome of St. Peter's in Rome or the Great Pyramid of Giza. In contrast to such older monuments, the tower was erected in only about 2 years, 1887–89, with a small labor force, at slight cost. Making use of his advanced knowledge of the behavior of metal arch and metal truss forms under loading, Eiffel designed a light, airy, but strong structure that presaged a revolution in civil engineering and architectural design. And, after it opened to the public on May 15, 1889, it ultimately vindicated itself aesthetically. The Eiffel Tower stands on 4 lattice girder piers that taper inward and join to form a single large vertical tower. As they curve inward, the piers are connected to each other by networks of girders at 2 levels that afford viewing platforms for tourists. By contrast, the 4 semicircular arches at the tower's base are purely aesthetic elements that serve no structural function. Because of their unique shape, which was dictated partly by engineering considerations but also partly by Eiffel's artistic sense, the piers required elevators to ascend on a curve. The glass cage machines designed by the Otis Elevator Company of the United States became one of the principal features of the building. After the 1889 fair closed, Eiffel realized that the only way to save his monument would be to find new and profitable uses for it. He supervised changes to accommodate a meteorological station in 1890, a military telegraph station in 1903, and a laboratory for studying aerodynamics in 1909. Further modifications were made for the expositions of 1900, 1925, and 1937. Additions made for television transmission added about 20 meters, 66 feet to the height. The tower stands 300 meters, 984 feet high. It rests on a base that is 5 meters, 17 feet tall, and the TV antenna atop the tower gives it a total elevation of 330 meters, 1,083 feet. The Eiffel Tower was the tallest structure in the world until the topping off of the Chrysler Building in New York City in 1929.